Now, achieving agriculture and food security is one of the key execution priorities of Nigeria's Economic Recovery and Growth Plan on 2017 to 2020. Christian Vessels, Deputy Group Managing Director at the TGI Group, joins us now for more on the company's investment in Nigeria's agricultural sector. Christian, thanks so much for joining us. I know the TGI Group is invested in quite a few things, but largely into agriculture. So you're obviously a big believer in that space. And I think most notably, that 10 billion naira investment you've made in the Wacot rice mill in northern Nigeria is very significant. And I just want to hear about your expectations with respect to rice, because I keep hearing a lot about rice. Many people suggesting that that is perhaps one of the big best opportunities, if you call it a subset in traditional agriculture. How do you see that playing out?
Yeah, thanks, Walter. I think first of all, I would like to say that our activities in the rice value chain are part of our overall support of making Nigeria self-sufficient in food. Sure. And rice plays an important role in that. Now we have quite recently pre-commissioned our rice factory in Kebbi State. And this is a big investment. As you said, it's 10 billion naira for a rice factory of 120,000 metric tons. So beyond with that being a significant contributor and what is essentially is closing the gap between local supply and local demand. And the numbers we're discussing are roughly 2 to 2.3 million metric tons per local production, but the demand is at 6 million metric tons. So that is an important contribution in filling this gap. But it's not the end for us, it's actually the beginning for us. So to make this part of our overall agricultural strategy of the TGI agribusiness, and here in Nigeria of Wacot, where we see that we will increase capacity in this and in other facilities of up to 500,000 metric tons of rice annually.
Right, and before we leave the Wacot project, I just want to hear more about the choice of Kebbi, because I think as the federal government is trying to focus on agriculture, I think more and more state governments need to see how they can plug into that plan. And I've been hearing some really good things about Kebbi and how it's partnering with Lagos, for instance, to really grow that rice industry.
Yeah, we are extremely happy with that location. And we are happy because we are confident not only that we will find the inputs for our rice factory, because at 120,000 metric tons, this means we will buy from roughly 60,000, 70,000 local farmers their rice products, their rice paddy. But also we have made great experience in actually erecting this factory. So 2 weeks ago we had a big event in Kebbi where the entire top management was, but also we welcomed the governor of Kebbi State, the emir of Argungu, as well as the CBN governor. So it made us extremely proud that we managed in a comparable short period of time to establish this rice factory in the northwest. And as you know, this is a structurally underdeveloped area which is an urgent need also of more jobs.
Sure. But beyond the rice investments, tell us more about how the Chi brand and the other brands are developing in Nigeria in the recession. I imagine that things have slowed down a little bit, but what can you tell us?
Yeah, first of all, I think rice is important, but I would say that there are other investments also in agriculture. And agriculture is not only in the processing, but also building on our experience in processing, branding, and then distribution. Sure. So rice is one, but the other one is a new project on the soy, a multi-seed crushing plant, where we will have capacity of 175,000 tons. And this then very soon becomes actually the retail product in the Nigerian market of edible oil, among others, or shea nut, as well as a pre-product for food. So if you ask, so how's it going in the group? I think this is the big thing. When I talk about our consumer brands, then I think we are doing fairly well. I think this is particularly because the macroeconomic headwind that we've seen was very quickly responded by an increase in efficiency, by thinking about better products. So do what we have done also in the previous years, actually a huge drive of innovation and new products. And when you go through Lagos, you see a lot of advertisement of Chi Limited for this new product.
I was just speaking to the head of strategy of an insurance company just before this, and he said there is that, call it cautious optimism about this year. We're going into the second quarter. How do you feel about the year in terms of the economy right now?
Look, I feel actually quite positive about it. We're optimistic. And this is perhaps because we very early on took the challenges, the macroeconomic challenges, as a reality check and refocused our activities particularly on businesses that I would call Naira business. When we originate locally, we sell locally, but also those businesses where we turn Naira into dollar, where we start increasingly exporting some of our products and being a bit more critical when it comes to import distribution models.
Let's talk about exports there, because you know you obviously have quite a few brands. Are you testing the export market? I don't know to what extent she and the TGI Group is invested in that.
Yeah, I think it's beyond testing. I think there's a long track record in selling some of the, for instance, agricultural products. To give you two examples, we're selling sesame into Europe, but also to the US. We're selling shrimps that we fish here in the Gulf of Guinea and sell it again to Europe. And that, of course, in this time is very interesting for us because it brings us, it balances out a bit the US dollar, respectively the euro bill.
Sure.
But I would like to give you one more example, moving away from consumer goods, where actually I feel it's a fantastic example of current opportunities in the Nigerian market. And this is in our industrial chemical business. So we just commissioned a factory for styrene, acrylic. So this is a major input factor in the large Nigerian painting industry. Now, reality is that this capacity in the first factory is already fully booked. So we're now doubling the capacity, being one of the few guys who actually provide other industrial player with local raw material.
It's really great to hear about people investing in the recession. It's really good to hear that what you're doing, and we look forward to hearing more. Thank you so much for coming in today.
Thank you so much, Wale.
Christian Vessels is Deputy Group Managing Director at the TGI Group.